Hello, Mark. Looks like things are working. This time I'm more prepared. See how things are looking on the YouTube end. There it is. Thanks for asking, Jester J. Doing fine. And hi, Isaiah. So as you can see, Jester J, I took your suggestion and found a way to put both of them, both the chats up at once. Which was a good idea. So now I don't have to keep switching between them all the time. That should be much better. Oh, I should probably tweet this out or someone. Tell you what, folks. You wouldn't think it would be that difficult to sync game audio, like by the millisecond, but it is painstaking work to get it right. So, if it's a couple milliseconds off, don't kill me, okay? That's all I'm saying. Let's see. I wish OBS had a levels filter. That's the only thing it's missing. Because, when you record an MP4, then the range of colors gets shrunken. It gets all gray. Let's see. I own the second one of this game, and it's hard, unless this is the same one. I don't know, the reason I have it set to slow mode, I guess, is... I don't know, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should turn that off. I don't even remember why I set it to that. What are the settings? Oh, it's probably in my... I don't know where it is. I will turn it off. That's good. I also, last time when I did Sly 4, I also had the Elgato set to 60 FPS, but the stream was in 30, which means that you get motion blur. It looked awful, so I turned that off and fixed that, so... I'm learning. Let's see... Here we go. Okay, so we're... Close that one. It's like the stream is nice and healthy in both ends, which is great. Slow mode. How do I turn off slow mode? Oh, it's gotta be in here. Alright, turn off slow mode. There we go. Hey, Frank. Glad you could make it. There we go. It's all off. Alright. Maybe wait for a few more people to roll in, or whatever. It's probably just gonna be me, unless unless Frank wants to join, I don't know. Yeah, Sega CD version's great. Unfortunately, I don't have a Sega CD. But I do have an Earthworm Jim SNES cart, which is what we're playing with. This is real hardware, folks. How come I'm not allowed to see how many people are watching on Twitch? I don't know, I can't seem to find it anywhere. Oh well. We'll just go with this. I always find that it's better when there's not as many people anyway. Alright, alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and set up the thing, and then we'll get... Alright, now that's good to go, so we can go ahead and get started on this. So this is Earthworm Jim. I have the cart. My cart barely works, I had to jiggle it around. Looks like one of the contacts on the back is not looking so hot. which is probably explains why I can hardly get it to run sometimes, but this is, I have my RGB modded SNES Mini, which is, you know, the redesigned, the second version of the SNES that I think launched in '97. I'm not sure. It's like the small version. They call it the Mini. Some people call it the Junior. Firewood. Okay. And it's RGB modded, so this is real, authentic hardware, real cart. RGB. I'm using both the OSSC and the FrameMeister to get this quality. Yeah. I could emulate. I think that is how I've played the Sega CD version in the past. Actually, my friend Ethan has a Sega CD, so I've played it that way as well. We actually did a playthrough of the Sega CD version on Game Mavericks that way. But of course, that was before I got all the nice hardware that I have now, so it's all in composite and it looks terrible, so bear that in mind. That cow may come back to haunt us. Just full disclosure, I'm probably not going to be able to beat this game. It's pretty challenging, actually. I have played it before. Maybe I could get to one of the last few levels. And certainly if any of the folks at home have any tips for me that will make it easier, I'd be glad to hear any of them that you might have. And I don't have anybody else here to play with or to monitor the chat, so I am gonna end up having to do everything, so just bear with me just a bit. So let's see. Have any of you actually let's pull this up to full screen. There we go. Now I can see everything. You can see it. Yeah, I've said that. All right. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or tips for me on this. Just felt like, because I was either gonna play this or Mega Man and Bass, because I wanted to play Mega Man and Bass again. Go figure, because I can't stop playing that game for some reason. But I decided, you know, maybe I should. I bought this cart. I might as well get some use out of it. So far, I'm not really impressed with the camera. It's like it seems like he's much too far over to the wrong side whenever you're trying to get around here, but yeah. Let's see. I do want a Sega CD, but you know, there are only so many worthwhile games to play on it. Come on. Okay, I guess I can't go up there. Alright, we'll skip that then. Alright, made it to the first continue. We're well on our way, folks. Maybe I can actually beat this game. We'll see. So Jim here is he used to be an ordinary Earthworm. Looks like there's another hook up there. But one day, a super hyper spacesuit from outer space that was created for the evil Queen bloated, festering, malformed slug for a butt, accidentally fell on top of him and genetically mutated him, and now he's Earthworm Jim, the smartest and strongest worm in the universe. And the evil Queen Slug for a butt has captured her sister, Princess What's-Her-Name, and so Earthworm Jim here is gonna go rescue the princess from the evil queen and save the day. And meanwhile, the queen wants the suit back, so she's hired a bounty hunter named Psychro who was actually supposed to deliver the suit to begin with. He's chasing around Earthworm Jim throughout the galaxy while he's headed for the queen's lair and all that. So every once in a while, Psychro will show up, and alright, that's Fifi, and Fifi used to scare the shit out of me. I used to own the Game Boy Advance version of this game when I was younger, which is not a version you should play. It's the only version that's better than is the old Game Boy version, which is in black and white and has an even smaller resolution than the Game Boy Advance does. That one sucks. Let's see. Try to get the first two EWJs, but I couldn't. I love the show though. The show's probably the best Earthworm Jim thing ever, actually. And yes, I'm familiar with Doug TenNaples' escapades on the internet, unfortunately. Let's see. What do you think about the 8-bit Sonic games, and which, in your opinion, is the best one? I don't really play them, honestly. I've briefly played most of them, at least for a little bit, but it's just something about them just doesn't do anything for me at all. Not unlike Mania, actually. Mania was kind of the same thing for me, where it's just like, I'm playing this and I'm like, this is the best Sonic game in years? It's just a bunch of stuff we've already seen before. But that, I don't know, the Game Gear games... I don't know, I guess something about the Genesis ones, because everybody told me I needed to play them and like them, it made it easier to appreciate them, I guess, but nobody really seems to care about the Game Gear ones, so... I don't really care about them. I don't really like 2D Sonic all that much. It's not really my cup of tea. So I'm not really going out of my way to play any of the portable games, really. I own Advance 1 and 3, I think, but I don't really like Advance 3 at all. I don't really like Advance 2 at all. Alright, so this is Billy the Bin. I think that's what his name is, and he can be a deceptively difficult mini-boss for this stage of the game. One thing that is nice about the OSSC, though, and the FrameMeister, is that I get to play this on my HD TV with low latency off the original hardware, so, you know, everything's on me. Certainly, if you guys have any tips for me on how to beat this boss, you're welcome to share. Let's see. Love that Wilhelmish scream. But, okay, see, I'm curious, are you going to do a roar of this game? I would like to do a video on it, but I need to get all the versions first, which would include the Sega CD version and the Game Gear version and all that stuff. I would be talking about all of them, and that's why I'm holding off on that. And, I don't know, kind of. I don't really feel like working on Roar right now, if I'm being honest. I have been trying. I did record some footage for the Mario video. Part of the reason that hasn't been done yet is because I'm doing Lost Levels too, and the thought of picking up the controller to play Lost Levels again was something that just genuinely did not interest me, so I was just kind of like, eh. That's what's been going on with that. This is Chuck. He's probably one of the weaker, or like... Earthworm Jim, one of the best things about this franchise is like all the wacky villains that you encounter, and nobody remembers Chuck. Sorry to say. If you are a fan of Chuck and Fifi, I'm sorry to say that they are probably on the lower end of the Earthworm Jim character spectrum. All you have to do to defeat Chuck here is he's on this little thing on the top, this little conveyor belt McGee. And you gotta time it so that you push those boxes under the spring when he's underneath it, and then that will hurt him. And obviously, you know, Earthworm Jim, he has his whip attack and he has his super gun. It had like some kind of official name, but I can't remember what the official name from the cartoon for the gun was at the moment. Oh boy, this could be. Yeah, I died. Low Blue Typhoon. Did you grow up with the cartoon? I might have, because, like, it was one of those things where, when I found the cartoon on YouTube and listened to, like, the theme song, it just felt eerily familiar, even though I had no recollection of the cartoon at all, so I'm gonna guess that my dad probably watched it back in the day, because it has kind of a similar writing style as like Animaniacs and some other 90s cartoons that would air on that network around that time. My guess is that my dad and I probably watched it and I just don't remember. Certainly I do like the cartoon. Like I said before, I think it's the best thing, Earthworm Jim thing there is. The games are fine. They're not the best. Like, this game came out in, like, 94, I think, and it still has limited continues for some reason. It doesn't even have a password system, which is really bad for 94. Like, video games, like, the big high-profile video games that are coming out in 94 all had save features, so this game was, even though visually it was, you know, on the top of the game, from a game design perspective, it was very much a couple years behind. Yeah, that's Earthworm Jim's Pocket Rocket. I have the first Blinks. I've played that, but I've never finished it. Yeah, I love that little groovy thing. Alright, so after every level you get to play this little bonus game where you play So we're in Andy Asteroids. Avoid the asteroids and grab the little blue balls. If you can get 50 of the blue balls, then you'll get a continue. So you do want those continues, because some of the later levels get pretty challenging. Like the final level broke my friend Ethan. He's normally pretty collected when it comes to these retro video games and whatnot, but when Buttville can destroy a man's soul. By the way, we are also racing Psychro here, who is trying to get the suit back. And Jim has his pocket. I don't know why Jim doesn't just take his pocket rocket straight to Buttville. That's never explained at all. I guess add it to the dock and whatnot. Could have swore I had it. Oh, you gotta press A to use the shield. I got it. So in order to get the continue, you gotta get 50 of the balls and to beat Psychro to the end of the race. And no, we just barely missed it. Well, thankfully there are more. I haven't really played Gex. You know, that's a good point, Danny Ben. Let's see. Yeah, I get... It does feel like one of those really weird, Genesis games like Dynamite Heady. As this game was originally kind of, you know, developed for that. So, in the second level, we are in Hell. Not to be confused with Buttville, which is actually Hell, but... we are in a nightmarish inferno. There are evil demon creatures in the sky that want to take a bite out of you. Definitely a good strategy for Earthworm Jim 1 is to kind of, you know, inch your way along a little bit, because, like, the enemies in this game can fuck you up, and they will, so... Yeah, you better be careful about that. Let's see. I think you have one continue by default, and then you can get more from Andy Asteroids. So hopefully we can hold out for the rest of this level, and then find some more lives later. And I'm pretty sure there are cheat codes that we can use if we need it. See how far we can get. See, I've never understood how you're supposed to get that. Like, you're not allowed to whip over to get that gun, so I don't know how you're supposed to get it. And then there's like an invisible wall right there that prevent... This is a bottomless pit here, so you gotta be careful. Now, yeah, Earthworm Jim does have this nice helicopter ability. Yeah, so make sure that you're using that. Oh, Jesus. Those guys are hungry. Yeah, let's check the chat. The SNES version. This is one of the rare instances where I vastly prefer the I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, Side Quest Gamer, my boy. I'd rather listen to the SNES one than the Genesis, but you can't top the Sega CD, at least. We can agree there. Now, I could go down and grab that life. See, like, there are lots of hidden goodies in this game, but it's one of those things where I have no idea how you're supposed to get to most of them. And most of the time, actually trying to find them just tends to get me hurt, you know? So I don't really bother actually trying to find it. Alright, I'll take those at least, because they're right out in the open. Yeah, the Sega CD version, if you're gonna play Earthworm Jim on a classic console, go for that one. Only problem is, you need a Sega CD, which nobody has a Sega CD, and they're kind of expensive now. So, your only choice is... And of course, there is also the... Okay, so here we have the lawyers. So, there are evil lawyers in this hell level that you have to defeat, and basically you whip them, and then the little suitcase comes up, and then you shoot them, or, you know, whatever, attack them again. Now we get to go fight the mini-boss. Yeah, I know there's emulation, but, you know... I like my OG hardware, okay? Alright, so I guess this is Rusty the Snowman. I think in the Sega CD version, his boss theme becomes the credits theme, like it just plays the credits theme for this level. Alright, we got him. And not a moment too soon, because I was running out of health. So probably, but I still actually enjoyed Earthworm Jim 3D and Menace to the Galaxy over the first two. Still like the cartoon the best. Yeah, I haven't actually played the HD version, but I think... pretty sure that one has fewer frames of animation, which is weird. I'd actually have to play it to know. I'd actually have to go do that behemoth video on this matchup. I guess you can cheese the level design that way. And one thing I did find out from the Game Addicts playthrough, you do actually have to hold up on those God, what is it called? When you're swinging on the hooks, I find that if you want to actually go upwards, you do have to hold up when you swing. That was something that Ethan and I found out when we played the game on Game Mavericks. Alright, I'll take that, thank you. Lives are valuable in this game. There we go. Just out of curiosity for those of you folks watching, how many do you prefer Twitch or YouTube? How do I get down there? Ah, fuck it. It'll probably just get me killed anyway, so not really worth it. I wish the camera would move over. Like, why did all of these older games have to put you in the dead center of the camera like that? Never really understood. The game would play so much better if I could see it was coming. It's just like none of these games could get that right, and I just don't understand why. Alright, so this is the part, which is actually, I think, where the very first, for you Game Mavericks historians out there, I think this, in the Game Mavericks playthrough, this is where the very first bullshit reel came into play. Maybe... There we go. Yeah, you gotta hold up. If you don't hold up, you will not make that. There we go. I don't know, so far I'm surprising myself. I'm doing better than I thought I would, because I'm not practiced for this at all. And that's great enemy placement. I could barely see that guy coming, so I could, if I was any more reckless, because the game has already taught me to kind of tiptoe my way through. Let's see, ever played Jazz the Jackrabbit? No. I'm used to YouTube more. I mean, obviously the people in the YouTube chat are gonna say YouTube, but it's just, for those of you who use both on a regular basis, what do you prefer? Let's see. And somehow we have lost our suit. That is Evil the Cat. He is the ruler of Heck. He has stolen our super suit, and I guess he wants to, like all the villains want the super suit for themselves. Only Psychro, I think, is working for the Queen. At this part, all you have to do is dodge the fire, and then when the fire will destroy the platform, and then you can get back in your suit. In the Sega CD version, there's an entire chunk in the first level that is added to that version and the HD version, where you get to platform around without your suit for a bit. This version's also missing a level, I should note. It's called Intestinal Distress, and that level fucking sucks, so I don't miss it at all. So now we have a boss fight with Evil the Cat. He's gonna attack you out of nowhere. All you gotta do is shoot him, or attack him, before he shaves away all your health. And every time you hit him, the little fireballs will come out. And he has 9 lives, obviously, because he is indeed a cat. You do have to enjoy Doug TenNapel's voice acting at the very least. By the way, Doug TenNapel, who is the creator of Earthworm Jim and Cat Scratch, and a whole bunch of other stuff, is now working on the Netflix VeggieTales cartoon. It's true. Apparently, he's a man of the cloth. Looks like we're gonna have to rely on our whip. Got him! Sweet! Well, that's one way to do it, Frank. But everybody's played Super Mario. Thank you, Danny Ben. At least somebody watched Game Mavericks. I'm gonna finally play Breath of the Wild, aka Shadow of the Colossus Zelda Edition. Because Breath of the Wild feels more like a Shadow of the Colossus than it does a Zelda game. I can't remember the colors ever changing like this in Anti-Asteroids. I don't know if this is an SNES thing or... And obviously, they, like, as far as I knew, all the levels were supposed to be blue. Well, at this rate, Psycho's gonna beat us for sure, and that's no good, so... I don't know if there's, like, an accelerate button at all, or... Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. You know, it sure would have been nice if I could have gotten a... You know, like an extra, you know, refilled my health after I beat that level. Instead of just starting me off dead. That's no good. I'd make a Depeche Mode reference, but I can't remember the lyrics to that song at the moment, you know. I have a song from, I think, Ultra that's called It's No Good. Depeche Mode's great if you haven't listened to them at all. I recommend it. They have a best-of album that's a good way to get started. Do you have to focus on this because I want that fucking continue so badly. Otherwise, we're not gonna have a chance in hell of beating this game. I don't have no save states in this, folks. This is real hardware. We gotta beat it the old-fashioned way. And by the way, if you lose, then you do have to fight Psycho. Like you'll land on a nearby planet and fight Psycho that way. Oh, sweet, I got just barely enough. I'll take it. I didn't see all the Game Mavericks videos, but enjoyed what I saw. Your laugh cracked me up. Thanks. It's called Lords of Shadow, not Lord of Darkness. I think you're confusing it with Curse of Darkness on PS2 or something. And yes, definitely playing Shadow of the Colossus recently, there is a lot of Shadow of the Colossus influence in Lords of Shadow. Still like that game a lot, but yeah, definitely. That game is definitely not the most original in the world. My problem with Breath of the Wild feeling like Shadow of the Colossus is that Breath of the Wild or Zelda and Shadow of the Colossus have very different tones and appeal. So I did not like Breath of the Wild very much. It is not a Zelda game. And that's my biggest problem with it. But regardless. Alright, so we're gonna go up into the ceiling there. So this level, in the Genesis version, it replays the track from level 5. Like, the 5th level of this game is literally called level 5. And down the tubes, they reuse that track for this level, but in the SNES version, they instead reuse the New Junk City theme instead. So, you know, and people always act like the SNES version is missing a track when that's not really the case. They just reused a different song. I digress. And we can go up here. There's probably some goodies or something. Like, seriously, move the camera over. Why does it have to be so cramped? There's plenty of room in the frame for you to... Okay, so this guy right here... Okay, what the f... That's not what was supposed to happen. Those hamsters down there are bloodthirsty. Oh, I have to mash the button. Okay. That's what I was doing wrong. My bad. Something weird going on with the top of the frame, like it's flickering. Oh god, not this. This could be the end of our run, folks. I don't know, I don't suppose we could move the camera over just a little bit? So I could actually see what I'm doing? That would be great. Like, those submarine sections are lives drainers. So the fact that I can't even see what I'm doing is a huge problem. By the way, isn't that dithering beautiful? That's what you get with your perfect pixels, is the dithering looks correct. I suppose technically not correct, per se, but, you know. You can make out the individual pixels in the dithering. Can't get that from no damn compost shite. And so far I'm keeping up with this game. Ugh. By the way, those guys there I think are supposed to be cats. I'm not exactly sure. Alright, we made it. Double check our things. I don't think... Oh, you're talking about Alec, gotcha. Let's see. The only game that had limited continues in '94 was Streets of Rage 3, Dynamite Headdy, and Shinobi 3, which were all Genesis games. Meanwhile, you go over to Super Nintendo and you've got games like... God, what came out in '94? Super Metroid, Donkey Kong Country 1, Sonic 3. Knuckles had a save feature. That's a Genesis game, though. So it's, I don't know. I don't understand why this game couldn't have at least had like a password system. So, problem with these subsections is I could barely see where I'm going. For one thing, there are these little refiller things that you can get, which will, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go down. Okay. Problem is you could barely see where you're going. I'm sure the HD version's probably better because it's in widescreen in this regard, but it's like I could barely see what I'm doing, so I don't know how. Like, this part's not so bad, but there's a level right after this where it's like almost unplayably bad and will drain your lives and will get you so many game overs, and it's the worst thing ever. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. Because you're not allowed to bump into too many walls or you die that way. If you run out of air, you die that way. And it's just like, I can't see where I'm going. Sucks, man. This is like the first time I played the game, I barely kept up with the bosses and managed to get this far. But then I got to Tube Race and that was it. I was done. It's just like, I couldn't be arsed. I died. Like anybody would. Okay, come on, listen. Okay. So I guess we'll see what happens, but yeah, focus on this. Shit. This is a real tight fit is what it is. Alright, come on, the exit's gotta be down here somewhere. God damn it. I lost my GBA cart. That's the reason we're not playing that version. Otherwise, probably the only other one I would have owned. Like, I used to have a GBA card, but I can't seem to find it anymore. I don't know, at least we have continues now that we can rely on. It's... So, like, they want you to go fast, but you can't do that because there are all these tight corridors. It's just like, this submarine thing sucks. I imagine it's marginally better on the Genesis because of the slightly wider resolution. Like, the SNES has a lower resolution. The games do, generally. Like, most Genesis games run at 320 by 224. But the SNES, all the games run at like 1024 by 224, I think. Or, no, I'm sorry, 256 by 224. So it's like about 30 pixels, you know, smaller. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh, son of a bitch. This time I'm gonna make it. Alright, there we go. I'll take it. What is this asshole doing here? So you're just forced to take damage there? That's really good game design is what that is. Alright, we beat it! This should gain you a crap lot of lives in the racing levels. Actually, EXO, when is the next part of Toy Story 2? That'll be on Tuesday. And yeah, it's true, there's no reason why this game shouldn't have had a password system or something. The Sega CD version has a password system, which is another reason why it's the best. Because it runs at the same resolution as the Genesis one, and has Red Book audio, and it actually has, you know, a save feature, or a, sorry, password feature. Let's see. And could the camera move over? Like, seriously, that is really annoying me. Ooh, I found something. Alright, let's see. Now we can release the hamster. Who can help us defeat these annoying these annoying weird little things. Isn't this game weird, folks? It's the only joke. Let's see. Alright, now it's time for 2 brace. I'm gonna get my arse kicked. Okay, so you get like 100 seconds right off the bat, I think, is what you get. You get like a set amount of time to get through this entire maze. But, you know, obviously you've got the camera issue, you've got the tight corridors you gotta now. Oh, I guess they did broaden it just a little bit, which I appreciate. Like, if they're gonna make you do this precision kind of movement. Ah, shit. Now I'm not gonna make it. There is a hidden air siphon somewhere around here that you can find, like if you go through a wall somewhere, there's an extra siphon you can get that'll basically give you enough to reach the end, but I can never remember where it is. Like, seriously, why am I stuck on the right side of the frame? Pan the fucking camera, for God's sake. It's game design 101, guys. If I can't see where I'm going, I can't play. How am I supposed to react in time? It's like, come on. These are like amateur mistakes. I believe that hidden siphon is somewhere around here, but it's, like I said, I don't remember where the fucking thing is. Trust me, the first time you play this game, you will get a game over on this part. Unless if you're unless if you get lucky or something. Yeah, evidently nobody saw that as, I don't know. Let's see. Let me go look it up. Where's that hidden siphon? There we go. Earthworm Jim 2 brace map. Yeah, the camera's really bad. I found a map. Would you open the map, please? Right, somewhere here. This extra here. Yeah, this level's actually a little bigger than I thought it would be. Okay, Ah, okay. Right. And there's actually a hidden life, too. Let's see. I think I have previously live-streamed Banjo, but I'd be more than willing to do it again if that's something you guys want. Let's see. Like, I don't know who was supposed to find this fun, but There's nothing worse than gameplay that's ruined with a bad camera, you know what I'm saying? Could have been fun, but I can't see what I'm doing. Apparently there's an extra life there, so I'll be taking that, because the game fucked me over. Let's see. Come on. Come on, game. I don't feel bad about cheating because the camera is cheating. You know what I'm saying, folks? God's sake. How about a health meter for the thing? I mean, I guess the cracks are... There's a visual indication that I'm taking damage, but it's like when you play the racing sections in Jak 2, and you have no idea how much health your vehicle has, so... And then you get to the end of the race and you hit a wall and die. Like when you're right at the end or something. Okay, I think the hidden air is somewhere around here. There's a loop down here. Ah, shit, I'm not even gonna make it to that at this rate. Fuck it, I'm dead. I would be willing to play modern games on EPG plays. Problem is, I'm starting off simple first. Because, you know, the thing about LPs is that as they go on, less people are watching. So the best way to get viewership back up is to do shorter playthroughs, you know? Once this channel gets a little more popular, I guess, like, you see a little bit more growth, then I'll be more willing to look at that kind of stuff. This camera is still the worst. This is like the worst camera I've ever seen. Like, did the designers even played a video game before? How did this get past testing? Sometimes I'm just flabbergasted at how bad things can end up that were supposedly play tested and all that. Alright, shit. Alright. Air should be off to our left here. I can make it through it. Oh, come on. How long does this little section need to go on? Alright, there, finally, Jesus. There we go. That's the hidden little air pocket. And then if you find that, I would not be surprised if the SNES version was rushed, actually. Like, with camera issues like this, I imagine the camera was probably the same in the other versions, though. I doubt they intentionally made it worse. I don't know how you could have even done that. We're actually like 3/4 of the way through this thing. Like, once you start seeing those little... but I better take it slow or I'm gonna die. Ah, son of a bitch. No. I do have an interest in showing off Mario 64 DS, but I have to practice first, you know. This level sucks. Like, apparently Doug Tenable has been kind of infamous for not liking it when people criticize this game, but has he played this level? It's like, I understand that video games are hard to make and that a lot of work goes into them, but still. This level sucks. It's just flat out badly designed. I can't see where I'm going. You don't combine a time limit with bad camera, folks. Like, who on earth was supposed to play this? Oy vey. That's why I get mad when, you know... That's why it's always frustrating, like, when I criticize, like, video games in my videos and it's just like, you just don't like hard games. I like hard games when they're designed properly. That's what I like. This is hard, but it's not hard for a good reason. It's hard because I can't see where I'm going. It's like, it's one thing to have a time challenge, but it's another thing when it's just, like, completely one-sided and unfair like this. Like, you can't go fast because you'll hit the wall, but you also can't go slow and take it easy and be methodical because you have a time limit. Alright, this time I'm gonna take it slow so I can finally beat this shit stain of a level. It sucks. Like, move the fucking camera over, like, seriously. Why am I not allowed to see where I'm going? That is so irritating. We're almost to the end. Oh, thank God in heaven above. I gotta be honest with you folks watching this right now, but the Mediocre Marathon has been kind of a creative slump. By the way, that's the boss. Believe it or not, he's even easier in the second game. But yeah. Yeah, but this marathon, it's just I can't. I don't know. I thought it would be an easy thing to just come back and do Mario 1 again, and, you know, revisit that and. But it's just, I just have not had the interest to work on it at all. I like doing LPs more, I just don't know what to say. But nobody wants to watch those, is the problem. Like, if I could just do LPs, I'd be fine with that, because it'd be just as detailed, if not more detailed than the reviews would be. Because, like, editing the Mega Man base video was like purgatory. It took so long, you have no idea. If you have never edited an hour-long video the way I do, you have not experienced purgatory yet. Oh, for God's sake, you better not. See, yeah, we have 3 continues. I'll take that at least. At least this way I get to go show off Psychro. Fuck you. And this boss just kind of sucks. Like all you can really do is keep shooting at him and hope for the best. And I guess the whole idea of this is that Psychro is a crow. And Earthworm Jim is a worm. That's supposed to be like the idea is that, you know, the regular versions of these creatures would be, you know, enemies in nature and whatnot. By the way, trick for you, if you kind of jiggle around the... If you kind of... Jeez, how much abuse do you need to take, you son of a bitch? Die! Ugh. Well, at least I've got... And I do like that the continues are cans of worms. That's creative. Okay, so apparently I have to whip... See, like, I barely ever fight this guy because I usually win the race. So I guess you gotta stun him like this and then whip him. I appreciate the tip. Come on, Psychro. Alright. So, yeah, I guess when you know that, he's... Yeah, not even a problem. Alright, this level's a bit of a gimmick. So, this here is Major Mucus. He is the boss for the stage, he's the villain. In order to defeat him, we have to push him against the wall here. I guess you just gotta keep hitting him. And if you can hit him against the wall, then eventually his rope will break and he'll fall into the thing. That's really all the controls you've got going on here. Is he'll try to push you into the wall, and you try to push him. Later on, that creature in the muck down there will start actually attacking you and all that. And that snot, that booger rope of his is actually quite resilient. And fun fact, in the second Earthworm Jim game, you get a little buddy in your backpack named Snot with 2 T's, and Snot is actually Major Mucus's son. Fun fact, he is the Booger Man here. I wonder if this was meant to be like a reference to Booger Man. The people who made Earthworm Jim, or at least the company that published it, also published a game called Booger Man, where you play as a guy who flicks boogers at people. Now, let's see. You got... Okay, so... Oh, really? You're apparently the rope... Like, if your rope stays, yeah. That's not fair. He gets a new rope. Because we need multiple rounds of this, I guess, to substitute for the fact that there's no platforming or anything. So you gotta avoid the guy at the bottom, because he will instant kill you. This game's kind of creepy, actually. I gotta say, that was my big takeaway the first time I played Earthworm Jim. Is not that it was funny, but that it was creepy. I mean, look at that thing down there. It's got an eyeball in its mouth, and it will try to eat you. If I played this game as a kid, I'd get scared to death. Yeah. But it is like a little mechanical challenge and whatnot. I mean, this... Because, you know, it's the second Earthworm Jim game where they really start pushing the gimmicks, but at least... See, how come he can't get eaten by the guy? This guy's... Oh, I just saw that when he flips back upwards, he, like, inverts. That's kind of creative and neat. Ooh. Well... It's a good thing that he gets a new rope, but I don't. Otherwise, I might have survived that. Ugh. Believe it or not, some of the later levels get even worse than this. Oh, not worse than Tube Race. That's the low point of the game for sure, but still. Oh, I can... apparently you can bash him with the A button. Okay. I wish that there had been some kind of tutorial or something. Yeah, that's doing a lot more damage on him. Alright. Because he gets a little attack, but I don't really get one. But evidently I do have one. I have the little body bash. Yeah, push him into the wall. I don't know, this is kind of a cool idea for stage, but at the same time, I would have liked more actual run-and-gun platforming stuff instead of this. And that's the problem with Earthworm Jim 2, is that it's pretty much all gimmick and no core gameplay. I have not been to any conventions. We need a third round of this. Okay. Yeah, level 5 is a difficult level as well, but it's not as... I don't know. Hey, vey. See, I don't really know why people like Earthworm Jim 2 more. That seems to be the consensus, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because I felt like the gimmicks in that game were even worse than the ones in this game. Except for Tube Race. Tube Race sucks, but... Like, there's that isometric level with Major Mucus in that game that was like the farthest I could make it, because I just did not feel like playing it. And then you finally get to the end, and there's like a race with Psychro that goes on for 10 years. That level sucks too. Ooh, I can't believe I survived that. Like, how come I have to... Why do I have to do this 3 times? Couldn't we just have had, like, one challenging round of this instead? See, that fucker bounced me right into his mouth! Right. At least the timing of the animation is good for this. Now that's squash and stretch right there. And the fact that they were able to do that in like a 16-bit palette and limitations and all that is impressive. For God's sake. Oi! You know, it's because of levels like this that I don't really play Earthworm Jim at all. Cause it's not fun. I don't know what to say. 3 rounds of this boring shit. It's just like the first time it was kind of fun, but you know, by the 3rd round of this, it's just like, did we need 3 rounds of Major Mucus bungee jumping? Keep getting eaten by the eyeball monster too, which is not fun. I don't know, Alec. I can't agree with that. There was so little core gameplay in Earthworm Jim 2, and I hated most of the gimmicks. It was as bad as this for like the whole game, pretty much. Because we really needed like 8 rounds of save Peter Puppy's siblings. At least with Andy Asteroids, it kind of had the excuse of that's how you were getting from level to level, but with this shit, you know. Maybe if I played Earthworm Jim 2, I'd change my mind, you know, like played it again, I mean. We might have to use a cheat code to skip this level, because this is pissing me off. Ugh. Alright, folks in the chat, do you have any tips for me on how I might defeat this minigame? Let's see. Oh, there are 9 of those. I thought there were like 8, but you know, still. Yeah. I didn't like the utterly abducted level either. Most of the actual platforming levels were just kind of forgettable. Like, I didn't remember Lorenzen's soil until you mentioned it. Ugh. This fucking level sucks. Like, he barely takes any damage, and... it's like there's no way to actually avoid that attack, except, like... it's just I keep killing myself. Jesus, we did not need 3 rounds of this. It's because of levels like this that people hate your game, Doug Tanaple. Most of the time, I just end up getting myself hit. Yeah, case in point. Alright, give it one more shot. Ah, beef's in the house. I'll give this one more shot, and then we're gonna go with cheat level select code or something so that we can skip this. Come on. There we go, got him. I hate how he could just do that whenever he wants, and then he just does it for 3 years. Ah, shit. Oh, fuck! Alright, that was a narrow escape, is what that was. See, he should have gotten eaten from that. How come I... For God's sake, get in the wall. Oh, yeah. There, got him. I got him one time, folks. I hate this guy. Got him again. Maybe slow and steady wins the race is the approach I should have been taking this whole time. Yeah, so much for that. Ugh. It's so much harder to tell how much damage you've got on him than your rope has, you know? It looks like I've barely done anything to him, but who knows if that's, like, even actually the case. Alright. Come on, that didn't... It's like he keeps going out of frame every time I get him close to the wall. Alright, that's it. Where's the level select code? I don't have the patience within me. Keep playing this. Alright, so... Fuck, it doesn't work. Alright, so you gotta... See, the Genesis version just has an easy level select code that you just enter and then you get a menu. Apparently in this game, there's like a code for every level. God, what is going on with my internet here? Select B, X, A, X, B, select. Doesn't work. None of these code... Groovy! Okay, something happened. Groovy! Groovy! Oh, okay. It just lets you skip the level, which is fine by me, because fuck that level, it was terrible. Hopefully I can get another continue, because that level drained my continues. You know, I think the Earthworm Jim games might showcase the best just how much, you know, just kind of the folly of gameplay variety in when it goes too far. Like, both this first game and the second game, especially. It's just like, does anybody like playing that snot level? I've always hated it. Oh yeah. And apparently I still didn't get enough for a continue. Okay. I have tried to make, I have tried to make some games once, twice, that I could never finish. Yeah, I do want to do a Rayman 2 video at some point, but they're, like Danny Ben is saying, there's like a billion versions of that game. And apparently the N64 version runs at some kind of whack job resolution, too. It doesn't run at the standard N64 at 327 by 313. Alright, level 5. Much better level than the other ones. But it is where the game gets a little trickier. I don't know. At this point, maybe I should just play something else. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Is that snot level kind of took it out of me. So what do you folks think? Do you want to keep seeing some more Earthworm Jim, or do you want to move on to something else? There we go. Oh, apparently that was a pit. I'm glad that I got to sacrifice one of my few remaining lives to learn that fact. That was... See, normally, in a better video game, you'd, like, pan the camera downwards so that you could tell it's a pit or something, you know what I'm saying? There's no indication that there wasn't more level down there. It is something you just have to know. Oh, what? I guess there's your pro strat for you, folks. Alright, this time I know there's a damn pit down there, so let's not jump into it. Looks like we can jump on these things. But they're electrified, at least part of the time. Okay, I hit that thing, but I don't know what it did, so... Oh, I know where I've gotta go. There's a similar one of those escalator things at the beginning of the stage. I'm pretty sure I killed that brain rat thing, but still. Alright. What happens if you run out of continues? The game's over. That's how it is. Alright. Who's up for playing some Mario? It'll have to be something on SNES because my synchronization here is only set up for that. Now, thankfully I've saved up enough ammo for this section. Alright, survived that trial. Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, Super Mario World 5 again, that was probably a bootleg. I do have All Stars plus Worlds sitting around here. Yeah, yes, Neo Soul Shield, that's the version of the games I own on SNES. Alright, we managed to make it about halfway through. That's one of my favorite Earthworm Jim villains right there, Professor Monkey for a Head. It's literally like a monkey, or like a human man, and he has a monkey for a head. I've always liked it. He's one of the most fun villains in the cartoon, if I remember correctly. Actually, I think Psychro was voiced by Jim Cummings in the cartoon. I might be wrong about that. Ah, shit. Alright, fellas, have we decided on a game yet? I am making it surprisingly far on this stage, but... Oh, sweet, you managed to make it over there. Yeah, no, we're not playing any Crash on this. For one thing, my sync... Like, every kind of console configuration has different audio sync that I've got to set up so that it's, you know, as good as it is here. I have it set up for SNES, but not for anything else. The characters expanded the Earthworm Jim cinematic universe, and characters were very fun. Nightshade. Oh, right. Raving Dave, what's his face? Tommy Tallarico, who I always picture Tommy Wiseau when I say his name, but Tommy Tallarico did the music for this game. Earthworm Jim. Alright, so I guess I get to pick the game then. I just so happen to have a game I like very much right here, sitting next to me. So, yeah, how about I'll reboot the stream real quick, folks, and we'll be right back to play something else. Alright, see you in a bit.